Hundreds of people at City Hall as the council takes on the unsafe camping ordinance. An update coming up.
Former and current homeless people share their stories and ask the city for a plan, not a ban.
Plus, a man accused of shooting a San Diego police officer appears in court, and we're there.
Former President Donald Trump pleads not guilty in a federal courthouse. We talk with local experts about the historic nature of today's events.
And a Father's Day duo, Nathan and Jerry Rainey from The Farmers.
CBS 8 News Live at 6 starts now. It has caused division among San Diego City leaders, San Diegans, and advocates for the homeless. Tonight, the City Council is taking the unsafe camping ordinance to a vote. Good evening. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Marcella Lee.
I'm Carlo Cicchetto. Hundreds of people are at the meeting, which started early this afternoon. CBS 8's Shannon Handy is live tonight with an update. And when we could expect that vote. Shannon.
Well, Carlo and Marcella, that vote will not happen anytime soon. This meeting started at 1 o'clock. Here we are 5 hours into it. And the reason it's taking so long is because so many people have turned out to speak either in favor or opposition. In fact, earlier we were told 240 people signed up to speak in person. Another 40 wanted to speak online. So far, we've heard from those who are both for and against this proposal. Take a listen.
We have parents walking their children to school through drug-infested encampments on our sidewalks. We had multiple community members and vehicles attacked in my neighborhood on Saturday. The unhoused need help, and they need it now.
We are here today in opposition to what Councilmember Whitburn and the mayor brought forward. The reality is we don't have enough housing. We don't have enough housing, and we should not focus any more of our efforts or time having this conversation when we know what the reality is.
That's right, Mark. The proposal being considered tonight is called the Unsafe Camping Ordinance. If approved, it would ban encampments in all public spaces if shelter beds are available. However, there are some areas where encampments would not be allowed at any time, regardless of shelter capacity, like in parks or near schools. Now, supporters say a policy like this is needed, given how out of control the homeless situation is. At last count, there were more than 10,000 homeless people in San Diego County. That's a 22% increase over last year. The majority of those homeless people live within San Diego city limits. However, homeless advocates say many of these people have nowhere else to go. Adding this proposal doesn't go far enough to solve the homelessness issue. They say homelessness should not be criminalized. And back out here live, again, just taking you to the scene here, the chamber is packed. There were 2 overflow rooms where people are sitting in right now, so that just shows you how contentious this issue is. That's why so many people have showed up to speak. What will happen once public comment is over, then the city council has to discuss this issue, and then they have to perhaps go back, ask questions of city staff. So again, Marcella and Carlo, this will take quite some time. It will go late into the night. We do have a crew out here, and we of course will bring you all the updates as soon as we have them. And that is latest from City Hall.
Shannon, obviously this is a polarizing issue. People are very passionate about it. The people talking at the podium you showed us, though, it seems like people are being very respectful. They're bringing their feelings, but they're staying between the lines.
Yeah, Carlo, you know, prior to public comment, city council members, they reminded the crowd what the rules are here. They reminded people to basically respect what other people are saying. There were a couple of disruptions, but once the city council member stepped in and said, you know, that goes against the rules, please, no disruptions, or you could get asked to leave, then those interruptions stopped. So the only thing we're hearing is just people speaking. Sometimes their supporters clap for them, but other than that, for the most part, people are being respectful. Of course, security, including San Diego police, they're out here just in case there are any issues. But for the most part, it has been a calm scene out here. But as you can see behind me, a very busy one, and it's going to be a very long night.
A lot of passion. People want their voices heard. I think one thing that everyone can agree on, everyone believes that sleeping in a tent on a sidewalk isn't the ideal place for someone who is homeless. People want to help them. It's just the way we go about it is the controversial part of it. So hopefully they can get through this, and we will be following the story. Thank you, Shannon. We'll let you go right now, but we have crews there and are going to be following this story throughout the night. We'll have much more tonight on News 8 at 10 on the CW San Diego and CBS 8 News Live at 11. You can also stay up to date by heading to CBS8.com and by following our social media pages.
Meantime, homeless advocates are fighting back against that proposed unsafe camping ban. They met earlier today to push for a safer alternative, as they describe it.
Those against the proposal argue it would put some of our most vulnerable people even more at risk. CBS 8's Rocio de la Fe talked with current and former homeless individuals about what the proposed policy means to them.
Alliance San Diego, along with former and current unhoused individuals, spoke out against the city's proposal, saying they are deeply concerned about this ordinance and are asking for a real plan, not a ban. Homeless advocates are calling on the city of San Diego to put an end to a proposed ordinance they say would have devastating consequences on homeless students, families, veterans, and others without a home.
I know the extremes that these things go to. Stop it now.
Ellis Rose spent years living on the streets of San Diego. He calls the city's unsafe camping ordinance a step in the wrong direction.
The effect of this ban is that if implemented, I know how these policies end up being worked on the street. And what is going to be a ban on encampments is going to turn into a ban on homeless people.
He says it will only hurt those who are trying to find a way back into society.
I'm really scared, but I refuse to plead for it. I'm telling them, do the right thing.
People like Zulema Guardado, who's currently living in a city shelter with her 6-year-old son.
It's really hard, especially being a young mother with a child.
Guardado says she came from Mexico seeking a better future, but was only met with hardship. She's now struggling to get back on her feet.
I have faith and I try every day to figure out something like an act. I figure out a way no matter what. You know, I have no other option. My baby depends on me. My son depends on me.
She's been at a shelter for the past 6 months and is currently trying to get into permanent housing. She and others are asking the city to do more to help those who are in need.
It's more than hard.
William Keith, an Army veteran who spent years going in and out of shelters, is asking the city to improve resources. He tells me the city planned to get him into housing at an apartment complex riddled with drug users, which he says is unacceptable.
I could do without all that. I had just already got out of a bad situation, and I didn't want to be exposed to or be involved with that type of culture, that environment. So I knew that I was eligible, or I was in a position where I could do a little better than that.
He's calling on city leaders to stop recycling people back into the streets and is pushing for better housing conditions. Rocio de la Fe, CBS 8.
Now an update on a story we first brought you last month. Public records we obtained showed the County of San Diego took $3.2 million in Social Security benefits from foster children. Today, county supervisors agreed to sponsor a bill to ban the practice statewide. Last month, CBS 8 talked to this former foster child who says she wasn't even aware the county had signed her up for benefits. She's one of thousands in California, but a bill in the state Senate looks to stop the practice. For more on our coverage and the state bill, you can head over to CBS8.com.
Tonight, former President Donald Trump is in New Jersey for a fundraiser after pleading not guilty to a federal indictment in a Miami courtroom.
Mr. Trump made his first appearance in federal court today for his arraignment on dozens of felony charges related to his handling of classified documents after leaving the White House. CBS 8's Jesse Began is here with what happened in court and what the former president is saying now. Jesse.
Yeah, Mr. Trump's private plane just landed in New Jersey, and he's now heading to that fundraising event. But before all of this, not one to miss a chance to see his supporters. Trump stopped at an iconic Cuban restaurant in Miami right after leaving court. There, he again slammed the indictment, saying the country is rigged. Former president and current presidential candidate Donald Trump walked into a serenade at Miami's iconic Versailles restaurant today, where he also slammed the federal indictment.
I think it's a rigged deal here. We have a rigged country. We have a country that's corrupt.
Moments before, Trump pleaded not guilty in federal court to all 37 felony charges he's facing. The indictment accuses Trump of illegally retaining classified documents, storing them at his Mar-a-Lago home, and conspiring to hide them from the government after it subpoenaed him to get them back.
What we are witnessing today is the blatant and unapologetic weaponization of the criminal justice system.
That seems to be part of the defense from Trump's legal team, at least in the court of public opinion. Meanwhile, while announcing the indictment Friday, special counsel Jack Smith maintained the case is not politically motivated.
We have one set of laws in this country, and they apply to everyone.
Regardless, supporters and protesters alike lined the streets leading to the courthouse this morning.
This whole country has been brainwashed.
Sad day in America.
As they watched the historic arrival of a former president facing federal felony charges.
The court hearing was only about 45 minutes long. After that, the court released Trump on his own recognizance. He's allowed to keep his passport and has no limit on domestic or international travel, but he's not allowed to talk to his aide, Walt Nauta, who is facing 6 counts of his own in the indictment. Marcella, Carlo?
Thanks, Jesse. Coming up tonight in our second half hour, we hear from a legal analyst about what's next in the case against the former president.
Plus, new information about a popular local bartender victim of a hit-and-run driver on his way to work. Tonight, San Diego police need your help.
Seeing a little bit of sunshine out there as we're gearing up for our sunset tonight, which is going to be right before 8 o'clock. And as we go into the week, we're talking about more afternoon sunshine and warm-up. Details ahead.
Thanks, Carlene. And up next, the move by state lawmakers to better protect same-sex marriage here in California.